What's the first thing you think of when I say Marilyn Monroe? Is it her platinum hair? What about the cherry red lips? Or that voice? What about the birthmark? Did you know that your brand is your business birthmark? My name is Rhonda Swan, and I have helped thousands of small business owners and online marketers to define their brand, to truly connect with their audience so that they choose them over anyone else in the marketplace. So what do you think? Do you have a brand or business birthmark? You know, when you have a congruent and concise and clear message, your customers know exactly what you have to offer. In fact, when you know everything about your audience, what they do, what they like, the values they have, they begin to make a decision right away and choose you over anyone else. Guys, I'm so excited to be able to share branding with you. So go on over, unlock that lesson, and I'll see you on the inside. Be unstoppable.
I know.
Okay.
Oh, guys, hang on. Oh, shoot. Rhonda's got the Freedom-Preneur show. Oh, are we live? Oh my God, hang on. I got to put my shirt on. Okay, hang on. Oh God, Rhonda, hang on. Whew. Whew. How do I look? Wait, we're live. Oh my gosh. All right. Rhonda, hey.
Has the show started? Has the show started?
I had to put on a shirt really fast.
Okay, guys. Hi, sorry. I was just coming in. I had to take Hanalei back. Give me a second. Welcome to Freedom-Preneur show.
I forgot to shave.
Oh, so that's not on there.
So it's live. Everything's live.
Oh my God. No. All right, hold on. Let me get my helmet.
We're live here. We're live there. We're testing out the new camera.
Okay. Welcome to Freedom-Preneur show, everyone. Welcome. We are running live on 2 different shows today. Welcome, everyone, to the Freedom-Preneur show. I literally just got back from taking Hanalei from school on the motorbike. If you guys were watching at all this morning on Brian's page, you got to see the chaos that we're going through. So you might right now may be watching me on my Rhonda page. Make some noise below. Invite some people that you like because this is always a value-based show. Always a lot of fun. He's Unstoppable Family. I mean, look at this guy. What? I've never seen this guy wearing a dress shirt.
Here's what happens. Rhonda says I had to pick up my game. So I got about like 3 dress shirts, and I've worn 2 in the last, so now I'm down to 1. So tomorrow.
Oh no, that means Swan can only do 1 live show a week. Anyways, guys, it's really fun. So we're running 2 sides. So you might be on the live Freedom-Preneur show, or you may be on my page. Nonetheless, guys, welcome to the Freedom-Preneur show. This is a show where
entrepreneurs come to learn and grow.
Freedom-Preneurs come to learn, grow, and to share each other's, I don't know, experiences, updates and new things that are going on in the digital world. Also to teach new methods and ways to share your voice and your passions with the world. That's what Brian and I are really all about. So we're super excited to have you guys here.
We couldn't afford anybody else for the show today, so it's just us two. Nobody would join us.
Yeah, no one would join us. Everyone's busy. No, we're kidding. You know, we love to have a lot of fun. If you guys don't know the Unstoppable Family at all, if you do, you'll realize we love to have a ton of fun. But we have been.
No,
okay,
so here comes the dogs.
So the reality of the dogs, it's no problem. So this is what you're gonna see. There's gonna be a lot of fun things going on today. But again, this show was started over 8 years ago. I started hosting the Freedom-Preneur show and we started traveling.
Yeah.
And
it'll be 8 years ago this next month, actually.
8 years ago, this coming up month, Brian, myself, and Hanalei started traveling around the world.
Yeah.
And there were some things that we actually noticed. You know, we got really fortunate, actually, that we had already started an online business back in 2005. And so although we went through some chaos.
And I just got to hand it off. Rhonda's the one who actually started the online business, and she's the one who actually hired me. Thank God.
Yeah, I mean, if you really like take a look at this dude's life, you'd never know that he really, this is what
I used to wear.
This is like trendy. He would wear these like super nerdy shirts with his tie, walking his, he had always this really funny pleated pants, and they had cuffs at the bottom. They were the lamest clothes ever. But that was like
you shopped for me.
11 years ago, 12 years ago.
So is this a comedy show? Are we going to give some material?
Well, we always give material. Of course, that's what it's all about. But I think, though, that most people really like to be entertained. The world is about entertainment. Yeah. And if you get too serious in what you do, you stop having fun. And that's one lesson that I learned a long time ago, which was I get pretty intense, if you know me at all. But I really like to have a lot of fun. I love to share with other people not only what we've learned and how we've gotten to where we are, but to also allow you to realize this has to be fun. We get so tied up in our day-to-day life that we forget. A lot of us get locked behind our computers. I know for certain that when you're building a large business, like we've built now a multiple 7-figure business in the last 11 years, you start to get all tied up. Then you realize there's some things that you need to do. You gotta hustle, that's for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
This woman hustles right here too.
Oh yeah, by the way, big shout out to Liliana and Kim Barrett, Hustle Hat Co. Make sure you check them out because they know how to hustle, but it's not the type of hustle really necessarily that Gary Vee talks about, which is like grind, 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 grind. We love Gary Vee. Although it's more of the hustle, it's more of what I like to call the conscious-based hustle, where you are purpose-based in everything that you do, that you know what you want. You're very focused on it. You have a core message and a core brand that identifies very certain things that you want to do not only for the world, that you want to give and that you want to create. That's the hustle for me. See, when I became more purpose and more conscious about what I wanted to create and give to the world, then my hustle gave me so much more energy. If it was working 24 hours, because there has been days, in fact, 24 hours ago, I had to take a last-minute visa run. Right. Brian finds out, all right, you can tell it.
No, so we have to be out of the country every 30 days. And we found out that she was 14 days late. So by the time that I went to bed on Wednesday night, Rhonda was getting on a plane. And then when I was waking up, she was getting on a plane back from Singapore, coming back to here. So it's one of those crazy lifestyle things that you just have to deal with when you're living in third world countries. Yeah. And the one thing that I actually wrote on one of my posts is that you got to be flexible.
That's right. So it's another one. We like to drop on Sunny Kim Barrett drops K-bombs.
We're just drop some buckets.
Some unstoppable bombs here today. So that's one of them. Certainly, when you're facing certain problems and issues, by wanting to work online, there's a lot of things you have to do. Or being a freedom-preneur, we like to call it, which let me actually define what freedom-preneur means. Freedom really is what it means to you. If you haven't seen, or you probably have seen our video about being a freedom-preneur, the mindset, how you think you should live your life. You know, we squashed conventional businesses 11 years ago when I made a very drastic decision to truly change my life. Truly change it. And I don't mean talking about it. And a lot of you may be saying, gosh, you know, I want to change my life. I deserve to have a different situation in my life. But what is it that you're doing to get there? Are you talking about it? Are you watching shows like this? Or are you really taking steps to say, what is it that I want? Opening up a piece of paper. In fact, I am so huge, as Brian knows.
It's got the big paper
everywhere.
Up. Guys, so here, just because this is on Rhonda's personal page, I just want to let you guys know this is where it gets serious. So if you don't want to listen to any of the big paper comes out,
yeah,
you better stop chomping your food. And if you guys know us, chomping the food is a big thing.
Yeah, it's not allowed to chomp your food.
Because I know it's back in the USA. It's nighttime. Get serious, straighten up.
No, it's fun because there's a lot of stuff happening. In fact, it's about discovering what you truly want. So what does a freedom-preneur mean? Well, first off, for me, freedom meant a way that I could never put a child in daycare. I witnessed a woman coming out. Oh, by the way, my book, I haven't even said anything about it because my heart was a bit crushed. Something happened with Amazon. They canceled all my orders, a lot of orders. But don't worry, the book is still going to be launched. We're just working things out with Amazon. Hold tight on that. But it comes down to when I saw this woman put her child in daycare. And I didn't have a child at the time, and I was crushed. So if you guys have ever watched, you know, our story or seen our story, you know that putting Hanalei in daycare was something I was completely not going to have happen. So I started...
Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
I started really looking into different business models. Now, what is it that you're doing to make those? Are you just scrolling through Facebook going, oh, I just saw someone talk about how they made $3,000, or I just saw someone talk about how they're with their child every day. Now, you could be scrolling. There's a lot of input right now going into your brain. I have been reading the book called Super Brain, written by Deepak Chopra. Write that down right now. Stop. Write down Super Brain. Deepak talks about how we can change the neurotransmitters in our brain by not only thinking differently, but truly being able to change the outcomes of your life, because you are creating inputs into your brain that allow you to create the reality of the visions that you may have for yourself. Now, I know that sounds a little bit wild. We all dream. But what if your dreams could truly become your reality? And I'm not saying this is hokey pokey, so don't, switch off now and say, oh gosh, here goes Rhonda getting into Deepak talk and esoteric talk. Somebody turned my fan down before, and I'm totally pissed about it. You know me at all. I get super hot. It's hot. And my fan was down to a 4. It needs to be a 5. I actually need my other fan, but I'm gonna.
We need an 8 for it.
At any rate, so Deepak talks about how we can change the neurotransmitters of our brain, actually rewire our brain, because the neuroplasticity of our brain is constantly woven. But if we're stuck in mindset, we're stuck in the same environment, and we're constantly stuck within the same group of people that are saying the same things, complaining about their life, not taking risks. Guess what happens? You are unconsciously wiring your brain to think like that. Scary. Super duper scary to me if you think about it. So what we like to do is, this is why we made these drastic decisions a long time ago to really change not only the platform of our life, but to change the realities of what was happening in our life. How did we do that? Well, let me just share with you guys what took place. I made a decision. I saw a woman putting a child in daycare. So number one is something is triggered. Something's triggered inside of your mind that goes, I don't want that. And you can feel it. We all know. We felt it in our heart. We felt it in our bodies that I don't ever want that to happen. So first, there's something that happens in our life. If I pull it out, it was normally going to draw on a blue paper, but I'd rather talk it out right now. Something happened. But what do you do when you get that one thing that happens? Do you harper about it? Do you think about it? Do you write it down? Or do you just stay in that mode of complaining that your life cannot be like maybe people's you've seen on Facebook? Or I see a video of the Unstoppable Family, I think, no way can I be like them. They must have been raised with a golden, spoon, right? Or in their mouth, they say, I don't know, just thought it'd be total, what they call pattern interrupt. I learned it from a very good friend of mine, Dave Wood, who past company that we were with, top income earners in that company, because I really started to understand these values of changing what was going on in my brain. So what is it that you're doing? You have an outcome, something happens, or maybe a breakthrough that makes you go, oh, I don't want this. At that moment, when you feel that, and you're like, I don't want this, I want to change my life, you have to look at what you're doing. Are you sharing, writing down what you want to happen? What do you want the outcome? That's what I started to do. I actually wrote down, I will never put my child in daycare. I will take actions to find a way to maintain the 6-figure income that I was already generating, to live a life that I wanted, which was called now Freedom-Preneuring. I didn't know what that meant at the time. Truly create the life on my, it may sound, I know a lot of marketers use it, but I want to know how many of those marketers are actually living this specific life. They might be using the words, how many of them are living it? But I want you to think about for yourself, who am I listening to, who am I talking to, who am I following? Now, if you're following those that say, oh, look at all the money I just made, and that makes you go, I want to make a decision, I want to join something like that. Is that the values that you really have? Is it really money that you're valuing? And that's why you're attracted to that person. Because typically in the outcome, guys, in the back end, it usually is, it always comes down to, we need to have more money. We need to make more money so that we can have a better life. That's kind of what most people think. They think, all I got to do is make more money to have a better life. If you guys are watching the Freedom-Preneur show, I'm just going to kind of go back and forth. It's complete opposite. You have to say to yourself, what is it that I want my life to feel like? Feel like. How do I want to wake? Do I want to feel totally elated, or do I want to be nervous? Do I want to show myself to the world? How am I representing my values that I have to my family? See, that's what and why you make decisions. It's not, the money is always a back-end byproduct, but so many people put it in the front, and I feel that's also why I'm now doing what I'm doing, because I've seen so many marketers blasting all this money stuff in front of people, and they're screwing up and rewiring their brain to think that money is the most important thing in life. Now, granted, having money is a great thing. It provides us with so much more opportunity. It allows us to travel the world, but I will make a caveat. You don't need a ton of money to start traveling the world. You actually don't. It's much less expensive to live in many places around the world than it probably is in the USA because of all the things that you think that you need. See, the moment that we became minimalists to just live and gain experiences, not necessarily things, our world shifted. And I thought about this and said, wow, Rhonda, what if I actually started to live like that when I was living in San Diego? Just became a minimalist, didn't need a lot of things, enjoyed, the creating memories. Unfortunately, the way that we are brought up in those type of societies tends to make it very difficult. Those friends that you're hanging out with expect you to have all these things. Those people that you talk to expect you to have all these things. Commercials, television expect you feel that you need all these things. And our children are brought up that way. But what if we could change it? What if we could make a complete shift? And this is when I set out 11 years ago to create that shift. And how did we do that? Well, it was that one moment that lady, I saw her put a kid in daycare, and I went, no way, my guts are killing me. I can't do this. What could I do? So I wrote down, what did I want my life to look like? And if you haven't watched Brian's How to Create Your Perfect Day video that him and Jabril shot back in Boca del Toro, Panama, it was absolutely the funniest setup I've ever seen. Although that program has become one of the most powerful programs that many people that we have worked with have gone through, and as simple as it may be, we all forget to write out what is it that we want. What is the perfect day that we want to live? Brian, I'm going to ask you to come out because Brian is living his perfect day every single day. And when we learn this type of method of changing the neuroplasticity of our minds and our brains, rewiring our brains to know that money is important, but to put the most important things in first, the money started to come. So you're not having to follow these people. Oh my God, they just made $3,000. Oh my God, that's probably the worst marketing. And I love a lot of the people that are marketers. You guys may be listening to me, you're friends of mine. It's not my style. I think it's quite short-lived and it can work. But if we're really here to change the way the world does things, change the way people live and understand their values, change the way they make an income as a byproduct of sharing their values of who they are, then the money side doesn't need to be talked about. Our world is too stuck on, look at all the money I made from the crappy, I really think it's poor marketing. Because what if the world and the people that you wanted to connect with actually connected with your values first, and they bought from you for that reason? Now, you might be an author or a coach. I mean, you might be an online marketer. What we've done here in this environment is become a safe place to teach online marketers and others to not only productize themselves, but to automate and make their lives simpler. But what I want to do is I want Brian to share, though, how he wrote down his perfect day. Because I want every one of you today, if you're in that mode, where you're thinking like, wow, I do want to make a change.
Big paper out.
Okay, let's do the big paper, because I haven't even brought my big paper out yet. Usually I'm a super big paper gal. In fact, if you don't have big paper, get it. We use my daughter's an artist, so she does a lot of sketchbooking. And I, of course, use this type of, it's called A4, A5, A3 actually, style of, but it's what it is. See, by writing things down, it allows us to truly embed into our brain, rewire our brain what we want. A lot of people think that you actually just need to, have your ideas in your head. If you're not writing them down, you are really truly missing the values of what you can be doing for your brain. And this whole talk that people have about manifestation, well, manifestation doesn't just, one was making a lot of moves. Manifestation doesn't just happen because you've sit and done some Om Shantis, or you've done yoga and thought, I need more money, help me Lord, make me money, help me find a new house, help me find a new boyfriend. Guys, I hear people say, don't worry, I'm gonna manifest it. And I like to say, well, what the hell? Why does God want you to manifest things? He wants you to be an active manifester. An active manifester. That means manifesting. I want something. I deserve something. And I know that the world is abundant. So how do we make it happen? We write it down. We create what we like to call our perfect day. I kind of dropped goals a long time ago. Yeah, goals are cool, and I love to reach them. And I do set standards and I set goals, but every single day I have a list of what I want to complete each day. I set my daily method of operation, and I achieve the most important things I've got to get done in a day. Quite honestly, I feel like I'm living my perfect day every day just because I've learned that. Just because I've learned how to accomplish things, and I can accomplish more in 4 to 6 hours than I can in a 24-hour period. And in one day, if I'm working my tail off and just focus, I can complete work that most people can't get done in a month. And I don't say that to impress anyone. I say to impress upon you the value of writing things down, finding that moment, that breaking point of, I need to do something. And then beginning your manifestation, which means writing it on paper. This guy is one of the most perfect manifestors I've ever seen. And why? What did you do, though, 11 years ago? No, I know a lot of you guys have heard this. I hope you guys are enjoying it, because if you are, please make some comments and let us know what you think.
And if you notice, Dan, our filmmaker, is not here with the lighting. It used to be good, but like, hey, what can you do? This is one of the things I want to share with you. Rhonda says 11 years ago that we did some manifesting and writing down your perfect day. That was actually the time that I first put pen to paper and wrote out what my perfect, my ideal average day is. Not like my last day that I'm going to be in Vegas, but what would your average perfect day look like? Well, honey, I'm just going to confess, I manifested a long time before that, because I got you about 18 years ago. It's actually going to be our 13-year anniversary. But here's what happened. Rhonda, when she got started in a business that was personal development. Thank you, Brent. And one of the first things was the personal development exercises, and the Create Your Perfect Day was the very first thing. And I remember when Rhonda said to me, she says, I want you to do this, write this out. And for me, I was petrified. For 6 months, I would not do that because, A, I thought that somebody else would probably, what if they found it? Or what if it didn't become true? Well, what I saw was a shift from Rhonda on who she was becoming. So when the money, for me, I had to, as an engineer, I thought she was crazy doing this online home-based business type of thing way back when. But when I saw the income come in, I finally, oh, this does work. But the byproduct of it was that she was becoming this amazing human being. What's crazy is that she actually didn't really start making anything online until this shifted up here. And I saw her growing, and I was like, oh my God, if I don't come on board, we're not going to be lasting too long as a couple together. But she grew, the money came, she was taking the action, not just sitting on the couch, manifesting, but taking that action. And so I wrote that out, my perfect day. We started living that perfect day. I wrote it out as, I actually didn't even set it as a very too powerful goal, because we were investing a ton in real estate, and I already knew that we were going to get there. It was to go live on the beach in Hanalei Bay. Hanalei was not born yet at this time, but I know we wanted to have at least one child, wanted to go surf the world's best waves, live in Hawaii, be in aloha, wake up, surf, do some business, etc., right? Well, we set that intention, and then right before we were going to do Hawaii, bam, we got hit hard. We lost everything financially. But that still doesn't deter you away from how you actually set your attention out from me writing out my perfect day. It just was going to happen in a whole different fashion that we thought was going to do. But that's the thing. We always believe that everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason in life. I totally believe that. There's going to be some good, there's going to be some bad, highs, lows, you're going to get punched, kicked. But when you actually make that intention and then take the action over and over again, no matter how hard it gets, you can live that perfect day. So now it is 8 years traveling. Rhonda works like crazy. I work like crazy as well. I work actually more than my corporate job, but it's not really work, because before I was just getting a paycheck, versus now we're doing something that actually really matters to us, we're passionate about, and that's what the Freedom-Preneur movement we're doing is really giving people the online assets, the fundamentals, the exact things they need online to be successful. And it doesn't matter if you're just an individual brick and mortar type of business. You know, you're going to need marketing funnels. You're going to need a blog. You're going to need back-end email systems. You're going to have to work with the team. One of the things that Rhonda did, and you see this with a lot of individuals, is that they try to do every single thing upon their own. Now, I feel that, and Tim Ferriss said this on a podcast just recently, he says, I like to learn enough about everything to be at least deadly and know know how to maneuver through it. But then I hand it off to the people that my time's more valuable, right? So we have a team working with us. And that is one of the crucial things of trying to do every single thing yourself. And it happens with me, it happens with Rhonda, on over and over trying to, just like, oh, I can do it faster than what that person can. Let me just handle it. And over especially these last 2 years of being able to release it to people, that's the hardest thing, but you have to do it in order to get the perfect day. So, yeah. Oh, I didn't know if you were you're coming back in. Oh, Rhonda, she's like, see, this is the big guys. Okay.
He always got to jump in. So why can't you just flow and make a transition?
I am flowing, but you see, this is when they put us on a stage together.
They didn't put us on a stage together.
I guess this is why we have our own events.
That's why it's our own show.
Yeah.
That's why it's our Freedom-Preneur show. No, but I love that. I love how Brian is sharing with you, exactly how he made it happen. I am trying to make sure that the light is good. I think that we accomplished that.
Yeah.
All right, so let's kind of get down to it, because it's 9:30. You guys are kind of seeing here in the morning, and 9:30, you guys East Coast. But there's a lot of things that we went through, and how to make this shift in life, really, truly. How in the heck? Everyone asks us, how is it that you guys are living, traveling around the world? It will be 8. I'm so sweaty. Look at myself now. It'll be 8 years this November that we have been traveling the world. It started off as a 2-year venture, and then it turned into 8 years. And all along, there's been a lot of ups, a lot of downs. So then how do you get yourself to that point where you're like, wow, I can actually do this, and what are the things that I need to make it all happen? And so this is when I started to make some discoveries. Brian and I have been working as affiliates of most other companies for quite some time from the start. This last year, we decided we're no longer going to align ourselves with a company, a partner, or clients that do not 100% represent or connect to our values. Now, that's a big statement, and it has nothing to do with anyone else, because that means that there are others that have other values that just were not aligning with our values. And what I found is that as we've started to build our businesses, we've done very, very well. I realized what we were doing the whole time was always building a group or a team based on our values. So if you've noticed, our tribe is massive. We've got people that we've worked with for so many years that continue to come back, and they do some of their own things, but we're always still connected as a tribe, and it's because our values are the same. So we took a very bold statement. So you guys may have been watching 4 years ago, we said, let's create this program called the Freedom-Preneur Academy, or the Freedom-Preneur movement. And it was all about exactly how you can build your own business, build and create your own programs or products based on your values and your expertise. And we started to put that together. And we brought on other people that we thought were based on our values, we thought were connected to our values, and we thought would be great because we needed help in certain areas. What ended up happening is they were using us. They were literally trying to take our idea, and they really tried. And literally, Freedom-Preneur movement, this whole idea went under the rug. In fact, I was curled up in a ball because I couldn't believe that someone was willing to try to blackmail us, crush our name, crush our reputation online, because they wanted us to pay them more money. So do you see what's happening, what happens to people? When you lead with money, it tends to create not only, let's say, stress for you, because let's say you're in a situation where you're low on money. If money is always your driver and the things that makes you happy, what happens when you put yourself in a bit of financial distress because of money choices? You now are pointing and lashing out at someone else. You're blaming other people. You're pissed at yourself. You are then looking for ways that you can make up for what maybe decisions you did and blaming someone else. And in this crazy world, unfortunately, people think, I don't like this service. I want a refund. I want to do this. I want to do this. But what ends up happening is because they've always led and made decisions based on money, and they've allowed their pocketbook and their bank account to make them who they are. See, I vowed many, many years ago that money would never control who I am. And that's a really hard statement. I grew up, my family's amazing, although there was always that conversation that we didn't have enough. And so when I made the decision that money would never control the decisions I made, they wouldn't control who I am, I began to do things very different. And although it's very hard to leave being an affiliate of a company that was thriving, we probably lost over $500,000 because we decided to disconnect ourselves from any type of affiliate program. Wouldn't you say?
Probably so. Probably more. But hey, it was something that we knew. We've talked about it for so long, and it was one of those things where we had to make a move. And it was one of those, when you're making a decision, right? You're either going here or there's no like in between. And we had to step our foot down. And it was 1 year ago that we had to step our foot down. And it wasn't easy. But we knew that without a shadow of a doubt, if we didn't, it would always be like the living in regret, what if, kind of like even if, didn't even travel the world. But it's one of those things that you had to make that. It was like, it feels right here. It feels right when you're talking to your daughter, like when we speak to Hanalei on who we are.
Yeah, I mean, and that's why I became so engulfed in helping people build their brands. And I do also believe that's why our successes became so strong being affiliates, because when you're an affiliate of another company, you build a team. So if you are an online marketer, the number one way to help your team grow is not to do the work for them or to tell them, oh, look at all the money I've made. Very, very short-term strategy. It's about what is the brand that you're looking to build? What do you believe in? What is your values? And I started hosting, my own personal events and branding workshops to just change the way the marketplace was doing things. Because all these, so-called leaders, all they were doing was talking about the kind of money that they were making, and that's why they were attracting people. But what happens when the money's not there and the market's changed, right? Markets shift, right? So it's called the ebb and the flow. You have to understand this, all right? I'll pull my big paper in a minute, but I'm going to show you guys some things that are valued for me.
Just this one right now. This one cut off.
Okay.
Just this.
Oh, that's okay. So what happens in the marketplace? Well, it's obviously normal roller coaster of ebb and a flow. But what we typically see is your lowest peak, let's say at the end of the year, typically is your Decembers, right? Because that's holiday time. But then once you ramp up, if you're working and not stopping the working through November and December, then your best months should really start to be in the January, February, March, is the first quarter of every month. Now, every business has its own thing, right? Every business has, why don't you let everyone know, Brian, if that shut off, give them live channel because that's what's playing right now. Is every business has their different seasons, right? So I'm talking in regards to, let's say, the online marketing niches, the brand building niche. You'll typically see if you keep pumping your momentum, right? The momentum piece is when you start to see the flourishing or the fruit of your labors, so to speak. Because what happens is so many people, and I'm just going to pull this closer to me then so I can have a bit of light. Yeah, hold on, guys, because this is really important. I want you guys to see, but I'm noticing my lighting is quite poor. So this is really when you start to see the fruit of your labor. People think, I've been working my butt off, I've been working so hard. Well, there's a difference between, the outcomes of working really, really hard and keeping that momentum. Most people stop in the point of like, oh, it's been a few months, you know, and I'm not seeing results in my personal businesses or my blog. People are watching my blog posts. Well, it tends to come down because you've stopped. So if you go through, right now is October, you go through October and then you hit November and you just say, I'm done because the season's done. Well, guess what? January is never going to happen for you, because it's those that are working their tail off. They continue to focus on their values, marketing their business properly, developing, creating the digital assets you need to be an authority in your niche or in your brand, right? If you're an affiliate, part of an affiliate company, you need to be doing all these things, not just talk about, oh, look at all the money I made, because what happens if 1 month you don't make any money? What's your message then? I've seen so many people crash and burn in the online industry because if they're representing, let's say, a business opportunity, all they've talked about is, oh, I made these kind of commissions. But what happens when you don't? Are you lying? Right? Is that part of your values? So what if you led with the things that are important to you? So then there is an ebb and a flow. You're brand building. You're heavily brand building. You're giving tons of value of what you've learned. You're creating shows like this. You're maybe offering or creating a product or a program that you can help other people. Because that's when now, boom, your big January is going to hit, right? And then, of course, you might have a slowdown of customers. But if you have maintained your message, your brand, and you're sharing it continually through writing ebooks, writing reports, teaching things, creating programs, now what's happened? Now we're making a difference. And now your followers will want to join your company, they will want to buy from you, or they want to learn more from you. See, this is something that I learned becoming a Freedom-Preneur, and I think and I believe why our reputation is maintained what it is. We've been able to go through high struggles and very high prosperities, right? The low struggles, high prosperity points in our businesses. And it's because you follow your values. So what I want to do now, guys, is, we've talked a lot about, finding that definitive moment, right? The moment that, ooh, I need to do something. You have to actually do something. You need to start writing it down. What is the perfect day that I would like to achieve? What is my perfect day? How do I want my life to look like? But then what are the things that I need to do to get there? You might be an author, or you might be someone that's creating a program, or you may be disenfranchised with working for an affiliate company. I get it, because I don't down the industry because it gave me my life, although I've made a shift in totally aligning my values and then helping others find their values, what they want, and helping them reach those goals, being a Freedom-Preneur, however they mean or what they want that to be. Freedom-Preneuring for us is just squashing conventional businesses. It's creating residual incomes. It's teaching people how to productize their knowledge, package up their knowledge, monetize it, right, and then automate it. So you're making automated money, right? That's vitally important. And I know a lot of online businesses and opportunities are offering that same framework, but most people aren't totally aligned to it. It's like they're selling their souls to the devil because they're really just selling a business opportunity to make money. I believe we should offer our skills and our values to those, and then in return, of course, we should make money because you're giving something of you. But how do brand new people do it and start off? I know a lot of you are saying, well, yeah, you guys have done it for 11 years. You're part of a deal and then you switched. Absolutely. And there's nothing wrong with having a deal. But is that something that you want to create for your long-term legacy? What I find is that most of the opportunity seekers or the deals don't provide the digital assets that are really required to be successful. So what happens is you lean on and you start leveraging on the commission side. I'm making money side. Look at the money I've made, or look what a mentor has made, right? If you're leaning that way, guys, you're just crushing who you are in your soul because you have more values than that. See, this is the mission that I have, and what we believe in here in this Freedom-Preneur campus or the Freedom-Preneur land is that we need to focus on what is our purpose. That little center dot, I'm going to bring it closer because I don't have my slides. Actually, I can share my screen. I'm going to do it this way, though. Since the Mevo stopped, I'm going to show you guys here. So, right, that's your purpose. And what happens is your purpose has to link to, this is, I love it. I love what I do. I absolutely love it. It's connected to my values. The world needs it. The world needs more of you, of your story, of what you're good at. And you get paid for it, right? That's a big one. Or you're great at it. You're great at it, something, a skill that you have. And then, of course, you are paid for it. Isn't that all our ultimate purpose-filled life? That's what the life I want to live. That's the life I want to represent to my child. Is that every day I'm working and living my purpose. That the world wants what I have to talk about. They need it, and I love it. I love what I'm talking about. And so what we started to do this last year, and why I say, you know, we left affiliate program to literally lost nearly, probably more than $500,000 to do this, is went back to that drawing board of what is it that a freedom-preneur needs? What are the things that I wanted, why I wanted to create that program 4 years ago, because I was done selling my, just a little bit of my values, a little bit of my soul, because unless it's really you and yours and what you believe in, I have never found anyone that's exactly like me, that is the exact same values. It's really hard to say, oh, they've built something that I am totally 100% connected to. Now, there's nothing wrong with it, because certainly, you know, you don't have to be aligned with the person that's always 100% related to you. But when you're building something that's yours, and then you're leveraging something that you really truly feel that you're part of, that you've helped create, now we've got a perfect equation. So I found that there were some gaps, that the problems that people were facing when they wanted to start working online, but they had to go with just a deal. I'm kind of lowering myself here because I'm now talking into my computer. And what that was certainly everyone, no matter what you're doing, whether you are in a deal or not, you need to have an authority website, right? Something that shows you as an authority, a brand building website, or a blog, you can call it, because where a blog is a space that you are able to really share what you believe in and your values. I look and I create my blog like it's my my online digital home, because what makes a blog so cool, it not only shows you as an authority, and you can go, and you've probably seen unstoppablemama.com or unstoppablemama.com, MOMMA. Those are my new blogs, our family's travel blog, and now my new blog is where I showcase what I'm good at, what I love to do. Right? Because our brand, the Unstoppable Family brand, has now really split in many places, right? Unstoppable Mama grows because I'm a speaker, I'm an author. In fact, you can hand me my book over there in a minute, Brian. Hanalei, Unstoppable Kid, right? She is, you know, an artist, and she's a fashion designer. Unstoppable Surfer, Brian's all about surfing. Right? And then Unstoppable Family is about travel. So now this umbrella brand, Unstoppable, is turned into 4 very powerful brands that are very unique, and they do something very different. See, when you're now starting to establish what you are, now you're able to begin building something on your own. So when I look at my blog, like it's my home, right? Because it's like, here's, you know, it's kind of like, here's my showcase, here's your big face, maybe with your message, right? Is there your face or something about your family or something you believe in? It's got your tagline, so you gotta have your brand, you gotta have your tagline. And then here kind of showcases below, you know, what is it, things that you might do? What are the values you can provide to them? See, when somebody looks at your blog and they go and they're invited, it's a lot less salesy, because you're inviting them to learn and to read more about you, or to watch a video that's about you. So when they get there, they're not in a salesy mode, right? So your blog post then should really highlight what you're great at and what you believe in, because then now you're connecting with your audience. And then, of course, you know, then are able to create what's a call to action at the bottom of a blog post that says, if you're curious as to how I'm able to cook beautiful food, maybe get my downloaded book because I'm a holistic food, you know, I'm about holistic foods, or whatever your brand is. You know, for me personally, it's about traveling the world. So we have the Freedom-Preneur Starter Guide. In fact, I believe if you're on the live show page, that you can download the Freedom-Preneur Starter Guide as well. I think I put that there. If not, Brian, you can make sure, because I don't remember you giving me that link. Or you can also register and take a look at our Kickstarter program. That's what we really started to put together, which was what our brand is based on. But if you have a blog and you're basing your blog on your values, now people get there and they're like, wow, they really feel connected to you. And if they click on a catchy looking banner on the right-hand side, that might take them into a sales funnel that you have that either educates them, gives them an ebook, right? And then connects them to an email series that you may have, that brings them either to workshops you might have or shows you might have, or maybe a product that you might have to offer. And what I found, when Brian and I decided to go back and create this Freedom-Preneur movement in this academy, we're like, well, we want to be able to give everyone the education and everything that they need to become successful online. I call it the Freedom-Preneur Academy, or the 8 pillars of building a business online that you love, without being connected to a deal. Learn the right way. Learn the way to build a brand. Learn the way to create values so that you can now become successful in the marketplace in whatever you decide to do, and keep it disconnected from any type of a deal. So that's what we did. We created the Freedom-Preneur Academy. We launched it last year, and it did extremely well. In fact, we've got thousands of people that are part of this academy that absolutely love it. They use it for all different businesses. We update it constantly, and it's just a way that we're able to now not only connect with our audience all the time, but allow to teach people the values that we've got. And then it started to grow. And if many of you guys have been to my events, you know that I absolutely feel that learning from people live is the way to go. Teaching people live is the way to connect with your audience. And so we've been hosting our Unstoppable Masterminds about every 3 months for the last almost 5 years now. We just completed our Bali event here. We had 8 VIPs come to an incredible home here in Bali. And what we did is we worked on exactly those assets. Building an authority blog that is their brand. Teaching them how to tell their story. Creating their message so that they are able to communicate it not only online, through video, but when they're meeting someone. Film them a high professional filmed marketing and branded video that they can use on their blog, right? Helping them create and learn and really develop what it is that they really want. And then more importantly, connecting and partnering with the best partners in the industry to show you how to leverage and use Facebook marketing, Instagram marketing. Brian talked a whole series about how to connect through email. We gave everyone the full email sequence and series to start connecting and building with their customers. See, this is a long-term strategy, and this is what I believe everyone needs, whether you're part of a business opportunity or not. If you're looking to just start something online, you really do require and need these types of assets. So now what we've decided to do is not only maintain our Freedom-Preneur Academy and update it constantly, but to also create a safe space for people to come and say, I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. I need some education. So we now have programs that are done for you, totally done for you. You can have all your marketing done by our business partner, Kim Barrett. Your Social Voice is his company out of Australia, out of Perth, Australia. They do the marketing for Gary Vee, Reese Witherspoon, and this super celebrity family called the Unstoppable Family. But it's about, if you need stuff done for you, then we've got that option. If you require and you need a blog, an authority blog that really sells for you, creating sales funnels that sell for you while you can be having a good time with your family, and to create the email backends, this is the type of things that all people in business opportunities need, but they never get them because the deals are not really willing to put that much investment into individual brands. They would rather you market their brand. Think about it. Why not? That builds their business. But I really believe that you need to have these assets no matter what you're doing. So what we've done now is we've now created, we still have the Freedom-Preneur Academy that everyone can be part of. And we created a Kickstarter program, a super simple way, very digestible, like really small garden hose stuff, not blasting you like a big fire hose, that you guys are going to get access to here on this page. Unstoppable-Formula will allow you to check it out. It's super inexpensive, just if you guys want to learn more. But more importantly, then, we now also have a program which we call the Business in a Box program, the Freedom-Preneur Business in a Box program, that gives you all the digital assets that you need: a blog, a high-converting sales funnel, email backend, a high-produced sales funnel or a high-produced video, and be able to leverage what's called the Freedom-Preneur movement. So it's really interesting because we launched this here in Bali, and everyone was really excited. We called what we call the runway to the money. You guys can be part of our marketing, and we'll help create residual incomes for you. But then more importantly, it started to come down to what is it that we just really want to do for more people, and how can we help give them the assets, the digital assets that they need to, whether it means build your own personal business online, to keep building your brand, or to leverage the Freedom-Preneur movement and be part of a group and a community of people that think the same way. and to help yourself grow. So I hope I gave you guys a lot of value today, because what I see so many people doing is they're kind of lost and they're spun. If you're one of those, it's like, it's not working for me, or my current online program's not working for me, or I do want to create something, but I don't want to be part of a deal because it feels a little sticky. You know, people, you look at all the sticky stuff going on in the marketing, they're like, I don't want to be part of that. I want to be part of something that is about me, about shares me, and about giving them the right assets and the foundation for learning to leverage this digital economy. This digital economy is given my family our life. It was that one day that I made a very purposeful decision that I knew that I wanted something different, but more importantly, I knew I had something in me that the world wanted, that I loved, the world needed, and I could get paid for. Then we become living a purposeful life. Then we become a purpose-driven hustler, right? Like I talked to Liliana and Kim. Purpose-driven. Purpose-driven. You're connecting with your audience because you have purpose. You have value. Not because you've got something to sell them and you want to make commissions. It's because it's something that you believe in, and that you know that you can offer value to someone. That's the long-term strategy that I believe we all deserve to live in and to work in. And you can still be part of other deals. Just do it, not necessarily I'm saying the right way, do it in a way that makes you feel good, that you're representing what your values are and what you believe in. Don't sell yourself to the devil, so to speak, right? So if there's a done-for-you service that you need, or do it yourself, you can join our academy or our Kickstarter program. We'd love to have you guys there. We've got a killer group, by the way. I think on this page, too, we've got our Freedom-Preneur Tribe group. There's like a couple thousand, maybe up into that group, 1,500. And that's just where it's total neutral. Everyone can share and ask questions in. And then we have our VIP group, which is our Freedom-Preneur Kickstarter group. And of course, our Business in a Box members that have, started to build their online digital assets. And we teach them, we coach them what they really need to do to bring their vision and their realities and their perfect day to life. And that's where we do all of our private coaching and training. So this is all about pure value. If you know any of our teammates, or if you know someone from our tribe that you may seen them at, one of my Meet in the City events we hosted, or Freedom-Preneur event that we hosted, ask them some questions if it's really legit and what it is that they get that's valuable for them. And you can start making some decisions if you'd like to join our movement. But also we have our next event, our Bali Mastermind event is coming up January 28th. The dates are set. Again, it's a private, internal-only event. So unless you're part of the Freedom-Preneur movement and you are really focused on the same values as we have, then you'll be able to be invited, or you can be considered as a member. We have an application process, actually, that you have to go through to be part of it. And you can take a look at that. You can go to unstoppablepamily.com/Bali event. And take a look at that and see it. But you'll be able to learn more about that once you get inside our Kickstarter program, or just join our movement. So guys, I hope there's been value that you've seen today. I'm unable to see questions. So if you are leaving questions below, or if you are on the live stream, just make sure that you leave them, and I'll answer them below. Join inside of our program, our Freedom-Preneur Tribe Facebook group. And if you feel like jumping in that Kickstarter, go ahead and get access. It's really powerful stuff. You will be taught the fundamentals in the right way to really learn and to grow as a Freedom-Preneur. And we always love having great people joining our crowd. So I hope today's Freedom-Preneur show has been valuable to you. Also, you guys were asking about my book, or some people may be wondering. The book will be launched. In fact, now the official date is going to be November 25th. That's actually the day that we started our travels around the world. So it's a special date. So I do believe that when errors happen with Amazon, that it happens for a reason. It was because this is a better date to launch. So keep your eye out. There will be some information on how you can grab a hold of not only the Kindle version of my book, Skills Are Cheap and Passion is Priceless, which is a #1 bestseller. We're over in 6 different countries. I think 6 or 8 different categories we hit the #1 in, so I'm very proud of this. And it will be launched. You'll be able to get access for the release on November 25th, and then also to get the Kindle version and then the printed version as well. So I go through not only the really deep backstory of my life, of how I grew up as a 70s kid, kind of in the drugs and the hippie era, and all the way through how I started to really travel and meet Brian and changing our life and the steps that we've taken to get there, and how to really build a dynamic brand that you can fully be proud of, and to show others what it takes to create the life that they would like to live, and to, more importantly, turn your passions into an unstoppable profit-making machine. That's what we stand for. We should be able to have things automated. Right now, I'm probably getting hundreds of customers into our Freedom-Preneur Kickstarter program because there's marketing working 24/7. And I know that our Business in a Box members that were just in Bali are excited for Friday, for tomorrow's call that we've got, because we are also allowing them to be part of our marketing so that they can leverage the successes that we've created with our high-profile video and be part of our team's co-op, so our tribe's co-op. So you might want to say, you know what, it might be time. It might be time to start building your October momentum into December so that you can have probably the most powerful January you've ever had in your life. You got to be jamming here. When everyone says, oh, everything's slowing down. I've got too many things to do, right? I've got a holiday, so you slow down. You start off then at the lowest point. So let's work together October, November, December. Let's take a couple weeks off in December. Let's enjoy the holidays. If you're a Christian and you represent Christmas or celebrate Christmas, give some time, take some time off for your family. But if you're setting things up in October, November, guess what? You can take as much time off as you want in December because it's working. It's working. The marketing's working, right? The automation's working. So then you jam out in January, powerfully bold, allow our sales team to help you work that through and get to that point, and then decide now, I want to be in the January 28th event. I want to come to the next Freedom-Preneur event. That's what we want you to do. We're only going to be able to have, we are now keeping them very private, just like they started. We started the most powerful events private, and that was in private homes, and because we get the most work done there. And so we will do the same thing again. We've got another incredible villa. You guys will be able to get pictures of it. It's also on that webpage that you'll be able to see on unstoppablephamily.com/Bali event. And it's another cliff in Uluwatu, but we'll most likely have only 10 people, private people in the one villa, and maybe maximum the additional will be 10, because we do have some repeaters that do come back because their businesses change and they go in different levels. And we also bring different types of speakers, of people that can add additional value to your businesses. We change all the time. So guys, we're at the very top of the hour. I want to thank you guys for letting us rush in. Hopefully you saw the opener of me running in, Brian putting his shirt on. We're going to keep doing a lot of fun stuff because I believe that we can learn and earn and have fun at the same time doing it. And we want you guys to keep coming back to the show, sharing it with more people, and becoming a Freedom-Preneur for you, for your family, traveling the world if you want, or just simply sitting around, hanging out on your couch and working from your laptop. Whatever that means to you guys, we want you to be able to do it. So,
as always.
All right, well, okay. I thought Swan was going to come and
I just want to come and give her a kiss.
Oh, this beard. So beardy. Don't you think he needs to shave it? He's like that. You know that cartoon of the when he talks and his beard just moves?
I'm gonna
you gotta at least show that you have lips.
I might get a tattoo.
Like you can thin it out here. Like, let me give some inputs about this beard. There's other things. Like he can be thinner here. So it's not, that's weird. Yeah, when he talks to me, I'm like, I can't even see your mouth move. Because I can read lips. I love reading lips. So have a great one, everyone. And as always, be unstoppable! Thanks for showing up, guys. Have a great one.